you so much for joining us here in BlockShow Asia in Singapore 2018.
I am very happy to be here. Thank you for hosting.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. The state of the market right now is, some would call it a little crazy. Some would say that it's about the third or fourth cycle and we've seen the same things happening over and over again. Is this cycle that we're going through right now making you look at your investments a little different? Or any different investments that you may have done differently?
Not necessarily. I think it's all just regular market cycles, right? Just like the market cycles we've seen in the past and just like market cycles we see in the stock market. I think it's all just a little bit more extreme in crypto, right? Because it's very difficult to value some of these assets. Like, how do you value Ether? How do you value Bitcoin? Like, it's all things overshoot to the upside and overshoot to the downside. So for us, it's all pretty normal. We aim to buy low and sell high, right? As the mantra goes. And in terms of equity investments, it doesn't really impact us that much. On the equity side, valuations are still pretty reasonable, I think. So the industry, the underlying health of the industry is extremely healthy, we feel still. Like, look at conferences like this, look at the talent coming into this industry. Absolutely incredible. Some of the smartest people are coming out of banking, are coming out of consulting, going into the crypto industry. So long term, we're very confident. And this is just very natural in an early stage new foundational technology to have these kind of market cycles. And it's great. It's great for investors to get in at the right time and profit in the long term.
Over the course of the next few days, what will you look to achieve here at the BlockShow?
I think for us, it's mostly about networking on both sides, right? So we, as a VC, we sit in the middle, kind of between investors coming into the space, as well as the startups looking to get financing. So for us, it's always twofold. Like, we have clients and we speak to people that are looking for investments. So we always wear a little bit of two hats in this space. And I think at BlockShow, it's very important to look like some of the highest quality startups are here. I think BlockShow itself is one of the best organized blockchain conferences that I've seen in a long time. So it's great for us to see the whole ecosystem, the whole industry, and especially people from the US coming over to Singapore, right? So,
what are you looking for in those investment opportunities? When someone approaches you, first, how should someone approach you?
This is a very good question, because it's about 20 people a day who approach us through either LinkedIn or WhatsApp or email. It's always very helpful as a VC if it comes from multiple sources and through recommendations, right? Okay. So just sending me a cold email or pestering me on Telegram is not going to help very much. Okay. Ideally, get a warm recommendation to somebody that we trust, somebody that we've worked with in the past. That's a really good way to get our attention and to get us to speak to you. Yeah. So
what's exciting you personally right now in the blockchain and crypto space?
Personally, okay, so apart from actual investments on the fund side, I'm personally still super excited just about Bitcoin, right? Like, just about adoption of Bitcoin. Okay. We're so early on. I'm super excited about the Lightning Network. Like, when do we see the first kind of really intuitive payment apps, wallets that you can use from the great UI, great UX?
How long? You know, I'm glad you mentioned that. How long will it be until we can walk over and talk to Grandma and say, Grandma, this is how you're going to buy Bitcoin? Let me show you right now. How long do you think that's going to take?
I think Grandma will have to wait for a little bit there, I'm afraid. But I do think there will be early adoption, but I don't think it will be in Singapore. I don't think it will be in the US. I think it will be in Africa, in emerging markets where there's no access to financial services. And there I'm super excited to see these apps happen and take off. So that's what I'm really, really excited about. It's just the first application, but it's the killer app, right? And everything else flows out of that.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. There's a whole entire economy around that. Let me ask you, how do you see the banks in the future? How are you, the way that we're operating right now, there's fear. And I won't say on whose part, but how do you see the banks operating in the future with the steam, the momentum that crypto and blockchain is taking?
I do not see the banks adapting at the moment at all. as a fund, we had difficulty getting a bank account, right? That's one thing. I do think, similar to how the internet evolved, you'll see new entrants replacing, not necessarily replacing, but the banks will become less relevant over time, and you'll see new players coming in that take this spot, right? I'll show you an example right now, and I'm not plugging this and I have no investment in it, but this is a very good example here. I have a card from crypto.com, right? So this is their
Show the.
this is their card.
Right.
And with
this is crypto.com.
Yes,
Okay.
I just need an app. This still runs on Visa, but this has basically already cut out the banks, right? So if I earn in Bitcoin, I can just put it on this card and I can spend it anywhere I want. I don't need a bank account anymore. So I think this is an example of how over time and slowly, maybe this will take 5 years, maybe this will take 10 years, but over time banks will become less relevant, and these new economy companies, Coinbase, crypto.com, these will become more relevant to people in everyday life.
Now, I see you just pulled that out, and you saw me cover up like there was a number on there. There isn't a number.
It's on the back.
Right? How are you seeing security? How are you looking at security as we get into this crazy world of decentralization? We give away a lot. We're in control now of our own security. Do you think that the public is ready for that right now?
No, I don't think so, and I don't think the public will ever be ready for that. So there we need to we need to create kind of solutions that cater for this, right? So we cannot expect grandma to take care of private keys.
Right.
It doesn't work that way, right? They trust a third party. So this is where companies like Coinbase, for example, come in. And unfortunately, as much as as I would want people to manage their own private keys and be self-sovereign, I don't think it's going to happen. As long as people still have the option to use it, I think that's important. But yeah, I'm afraid that there will be third parties that will be managing our crypto. Yeah.
Okay. Now, last, when you're looking at investments, do you focus on? I know it's a combination, right? It's the team, it's the project, what's the most important thing to you?
From a VC perspective,
yes.
it's almost always the team, right? So what have they done in the past? Have they had exits? Have they built interesting stuff in the past? So team is always by far the number one most important part. Obviously, you combine that with a product market fit, right? Like, is it the right time? Is it the right product? But even if that's not the case, a good team can always pivot.
Right.
A great product with a bad team will never pivot.
Absolutely.
Right? So that is the key difference. So
we're looking at team number one.
We invest early stage, so we look at team. Team has to be excellent, and that's when we make an investment.
Okay. That's pre-product.
It could be. If it's seed stage, it could be pre-product. That's fine if it's a proven team.
Okay.
Otherwise, like post-product, right? So ideally, yeah.
Right. And the last thing, I'm sure that I'll see you in another 6 months. And in that 6 months, can you give me your crypto prediction? Doesn't matter if it's a price, a company. Tell me your prediction. I'm going to follow up with you in 6 months. What's going to happen in this sector? It's your choice.
You're putting me on the spot here.
Yeah.
What's going to happen in 6 months? I think we'll see a little bit of a crypto winter for 6 months.
Okay.
So prices will remain subdued, and people will keep exiting the industry, and ICOs will go the way of the dinosaur, but then the real builders will remain. And then I think towards the end of next year, you'll see things picking up again for the next kind of market cycle.
Okay.
And that's what we're here for. That's what to ride that wave. So
you know what? Well, let's hope the winter's here and it's over in 6 months.
Absolutely.
And I so look forward to speaking to you then. Thank you so much, Kenrick.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right.